offer my advice.
Now, we don't know what the FBI is going to turn up or the State Department in their investigation. We don't know what the conclusion is going to be. Why call for Hillary Clinton to step out of the race for the time being?
Yeah, I feel very strongly about this. Number one, and there's really two reasons why I believe this. Number one, the severity of the leak of the classified materials, so this special access program, the top secret, just the incredible level of classification that has been leaked through the use of a private server.
What do you mean by leaked? You mean like
I mean leaked in terms of just being passed on
okay. You don't mean like getting out to the public, but you mean
it's in the public now. It's in the public domain now because it was on a private server that's available to China, Russia, and now what we're seeing in the open domain. So that's severity.
Just to clarify, you don't have any evidence that the Chinese or the Russians hacked her server.
No, but we know the kinds of targets that they go after on a routine basis, and you know, I could give you an hour's worth of targets that we know that they've already hit that have been very publicly discussed. So I mean, from the Joint Staff to Central Command to the Army, I mean, they've hit a bunch of these things. So Hillary Clinton, as a Secretary of State, is a target of those two adversaries.
But no evidence yet.
So, and then the other point, Jake, is, and the other thing I think that this is really important, it's been stated that there are 100 FBI agents that are on this case. And yet we have the FBI director that has told us that in all 50 states we have Islamic State cases ongoing. And I know the FBI is just overwhelmed with white-collar crime, child pornography cases, transnational organized criminal cases, as well as the Islamic State. And now we have to put another 100 agents on this case of Hillary Clinton.
Isn't that a question of the FBI's priorities more than it is?
Yeah. So I mean, imagine that. So if she were to step down and the nation would allow itself to back down a little bit and let this investigation run its course with her not in the limelight and making this such a big deal, I really do believe that the severity and the number of resources that are applied, despite what the outcome is, I just think the lack of accountability, frankly, and the person who should have been much more responsible in her actions as the Secretary of State of the United States of America. This is not.
Right, no, I get that.
Jake, if it were me, I would have been out the door and probably in jail.
She and her supporters say this is an issue of overclassification. These are things that that are classified now, but were not at the time. Or, and you know this, that there is part of this tug of war over. For instance, if I were an intelligence official and I were to email a WikiLeaks that was published in the New York Times. That is top secret, even if it was in the New York Times.
Overclassification or not. If it's classified, it's classified. And she knows better. She knew better in the roles that she has had, both as a senator, even back when she's married to the President of the United States, and she's going to have privileged information in that regard, and not only as the Secretary of State, which is part of the National Security Council, so she should know better. This overclassification excuse is not an excuse. If it's classified, it's classified.
Right.